Just kind of talk a little bit about that optioning piece, because like for most people, how does that really work in sense like, oh, so sometimes we see those big headlines like, oh, this book is getting up for option, and you get super excited being in the book world, like, okay, my favorite book might just become a movie, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes that doesn't always happen. So like, how does that process work? Like whether it comes from bidding or when does it, get recycled? I know each contract can tend to be different, but like just overall your experience in that space.
Right. So great question. It depends on the book. The main books, the main authors, before they are even released, the agencies release, some kind of piece to the talent agencies who represent directors, producers, distributors, and to the studios. So they have a first look and they can option it firsthand. So, but if you're not mainstream, if you're not a best-selling book author, when you're releasing your first book, let's say, then you have to I think the most important thing nowadays is to build an IP, which is an intellectual property, not in law. That we have a term that is the same name, IP, which in law means copyrights or protecting your idea and registering your idea. But when we say an IP in the entertainment industry, we refer to some piece of creation that it could be anything, but has already an audience built around it. Meaning, let's say instead of having a script, then you have a fanfic from that script that already has an audience. So the first thing executives are looking for in optioning books, and we have fanfics that became like big box offices, like 50 Shades of Grey. It was a fanfic based on even the Twilight
Yeah.
saga. And then, it's very inexpensive. But instead of just having a manuscript or a script to shop around, you have something that is a step further, that is, I already established an audience, meaning right now it's a podcast. It could be a podcast, it could be a news piece, it could be a stage play, anything that's not super expensive, but that will prove to the person putting money and the person who should be optioning your book, aka buyers. I call them buyers because they're very different people, that you already have proven your concept and it's already been tested and the audience likes what they're seeing. And of course, the bigger the numbers, the better, but it's not, because we're in such a niche market, it's not really, a deal breaker if you don't have big numbers.